You so much for joining us today at Everyday Yoga. My name is Christine. Today we are doing a chair yoga practice, so please find a safe, comfortable seat, preferably not a desk chair that has wheels. But if you do have wheels, maybe keep your shoes on, lower the seat enough so that you can have your feet firmly planted on the ground. Otherwise, find yourself just sitting up beautifully tall, drawing the crown of the head up to the sky. Take a deep breath in through the nose, and then just let it go, out through the nose or out through the mouth with a sigh. Do that a couple times. Just letting the shoulders kind of drop down every time you exhale. Maybe closing the eyes if that feels good. You're here. You've already done the hardest part. You've arrived. And we're just going to kind of get grounded and become aware of our seat, our pelvic bowl. Kind of visualize the pelvis, how it's kind of a rounded bowl. And you can kind of rock a little bit from side to side, maybe like take the hips over to one side and over to the other, you know, kind of lifting the hips, moving from the waistline, just rocking the hips side to side. And maybe rock a little forward and back, sort of curling the tailbone under and then lifting the heart and sticking the tailbone back a bit. Just kind of organically roll around on the hips and just get a sense of the connection between the sit bones and the chair, and just kind of gently begin to loosen things up. Maybe go in circles, round and round in one direction, kind of like a slow groove. And then maybe reverse the circles. Just kind of loosening up, waking up the waistline, waking up maybe getting the shoulders involved in it. Maybe taking the chin towards the chest and just letting it kind of feel good and fun. Maybe releasing the arms down and kind of waving them from side to side. Maybe turning the head in one direction and turning the head in the other direction. And then inhale the arms up alongside the ears. Take a big inhale here, lifting the heart, drawing the shoulder blades down the back, tucking the chin. And then we'll exhale and release the palms down to the tops of the thighs. And then we'll just find a little bit of stillness here. Really grounding down through the sit bones, eyes opened or closed, breathing through the nose, drawing yourself up to your tallest height. Lift the shoulders towards the ears and then exhale to loop them back and down. Kind of tucking those shoulder blades down in the back pockets. Soften the skin of the face. Tuck the chin gently to lengthen through the neck. And just allow the body to be still. Scan the body and notice where you might be holding tension or sort of clenching. Maybe in the toes, maybe the legs or calves, maybe the shoulders, the jaw. Just see where you can soften. This sort of contradiction between sitting up nice and tall and beautiful and strong, but yet being soft. Soft in the muscles, soft in the skin, soft in the breath. And then let's go ahead and take our right hand out to the side, thumb pointing up, kind of fanning the fingers out nice and wide. And just kind of draw it back behind you, getting a little bit of a stretch in the front of the shoulder here. And maybe it doesn't come back very far if that doesn't feel good on the shoulder. Maybe just a little bit. Maybe it feels good to really stretch it all the way back, getting a stretch across the chest, the pectoral muscle, the front of the bicep here. And then wherever the arm is, take it back in parallel to the body here. And then let's go ahead and look over the left shoulder, getting a little bit of a stretch across the right side of the neck, the right shoulder. And then let's go ahead and bring the head back to center and the fingertips down towards the earth. And then let's do the same thing on the other side. So let's draw that left palm out. Really active jazz hands, spreading the fingers out wide, keeping that shoulder anchored down. And then maybe playing with it a little bit, drawing it back, getting a little bit of a stretch across the front of the left shoulder, the pectoral muscle. And then bringing the arm back in line with the body, take the gaze out over the right shoulder. And just notice what you feel. Maybe you feel something all the way from the finger, the index finger and the thumb and the palm of the hand. Maybe the inside of the arm, the elbow. If you want to bend the elbow here a little bit, you can certainly do that. And then we'll bring everything back to center again. And then let's lift those right fingertips up towards the sky. Just reach up, draw that shoulder all the way up towards the ear, and then exhale to anchor it back down, really plugging that arm bone into the shoulder socket, nice and anchored here. And we'll inhale from here and lengthen from the hip all the way up to the fingertips, getting nice and long through the right side body. And then just exhale, bringing the hand over the ear, pointing off towards the left. Really anchor down through that right hip, that right sit bone, nice and square to the chair here. Take a breath here. Lengthening while still anchoring. When you're ready, inhale the fingertips up to the sky and exhale to release. And then we'll do the same thing over here on the left, reaching up the fingertips, inhaling here, drawing that shoulder up towards that ear, anchoring the hip down, and then anchoring the arm into the shoulder socket. Maybe even rotate that pinky inward a little bit for kind of a little ballerina hand here, a half victorious pose. And then from here, we'll reach up towards the sky, inhaling length, and then exhale, tilting over towards the right. Really anchoring down through that left sit bone, keeping the chin tucked to keep the neck nice and safe and long here. Couple breaths here, just opening up through the ribs. Noticing what you feel all the way from the hip downward, upward. Inhale back up to the sky and exhale to release the fingertips down to the earth. Now let's open up the hips a little bit here. Go ahead and come over to the right corner of your seat or the left, depending on your spacing, wherever you are in your furniture arrangement. Either front corner will do. And we're going to take the hands to the knees here. And we're going to do a little cat and cow, kind of flexing the spine forward and back. And we're going to inhale here, lifting the heart, tucking the chin, arching the back. And then we'll exhale, drawing the belly button towards the spine and the chin to the chest, rounding the back body. Inhale, lifting the heart, looking up as you're tucking the chin. Exhale, rounding back into cat pose. Reaching those fingertips forward if that feels good. One more time. Inhaling cow. Exhaling cat. eyes open or closed. And then try bringing the legs a little closer together. And then do a few more cat-cows there moving with your breath, inhaling into cow pose, exhaling into cat pose. And then just notice the difference, if any, between the legs being wide here on the corner or nice and closed here on the corner, whatever feels good in your hips. And then maybe play with it a little bit and see, does it feel better to have a wide-legged stance? Does it feel better to keep the legs closer together? Does it feel better in the knees and the ankles and the hips? And just move there organically. And if you find that reaching forward and exhaling here in cat, maybe staying for a breath or two, stretching through the shoulder blades, stretching through the low back. If that feels good, stay there. If you feel that coming into cow pose and lifting the heart and drawing the elbows back towards one another and the shoulder blades just kind of squeezing in towards one another, if that feels better, maybe stay there for a breath or two. Maybe open up the arms into cactus arms when you come into cow pose. Maybe reach forward with the fingertips as you come into cat pose. Just inhale as you expand and broaden and lift the heart, and exhale as you contract and round and come inward. One more, no matter where you are in each of cat and cow. And then we'll come all the way back to a nice tall seat. And then we're gonna scooch back. So if you're on the right corner like I am, you're gonna scooch back and have the right thigh across the chair seat so that you can have the left leg out in front of the chair. So you're kind of on this front half of the chair. If you have a back, you can hold on to the back, or an arm here that you can hold on to. You can certainly do that. We're coming into a kind of a lunge here. So I think probably there's not a woman out there, or a guy, I don't know, who hasn't done lunges in their day, because they're supposed to be really good for the butte. So this is a supported lunge, and it's as much for stretching and opening up the hip as it is for strengthening. So you can have those back toes curled under, and you're just letting the chair do the heavy lifting here so that you can really, and actually if you can have that front foot, the right foot on the ground flat or up on a block, that's best. If you need to come up on the toes, go ahead and do that. But if you can be flat to the earth, do that. And we can curl the toes under, bring the left hand to the hip here, look forward, gaze is in line with the heart, in line with the belly button. And you can really press back, drawing those toes back farther behind you and pressing back into the heel. You can keep hold the top part of the leg in line with the knee, in line with the hip, or you can even turn the top of the foot to the earth and get a stretch across the front of the shin, the front of the ankle. And then draw yourself up to your full height again and let the knee be heavy. Let the knee anchor you down towards the earth and really open up space here across the front of that left hip. Breathe here, inhaling length through the spine, tucking the chin. Exhaling to see where you can soften, see where you're exerting effort that is not serving you, and see if you can let it go. Maybe imagine you have a nice big balloon here at the hip, and as you inhale, you're expanding that balloon. And as you exhale, you're just softening and releasing and relaxing and letting go. 2 more breaths here in whatever variation of this lunge feels good to you. I guess this would be kind of a low lunge. In Sanskrit, it'd be Anjaneyasana. And then when you're ready, we'll go ahead and bring the sole of the left foot back to the earth, and we'll just turn around and face the left corner or the opposite corner, whatever you're working with. Again, if you can bring the foot flush to the floor, that would be the safest, but you can be up on the ball of the foot here if you can really engage that leg to keep the knee nice and safe here. If you don't have a block, you could probably put a book or I don't know, an Amazon box or something down there. And then we'll come into that lunge on the second side. And again, just start right here in the center, knee nice and heavy, pointing down to the earth. Maybe bring the right hand to the right hip, holding on to the chair back or a chair arm or the chair seat if you feel that that will help you to sit nice and tall here. Maybe send the toes back a little bit and press back into that right heel. Breathing here. Maybe turning the top of the foot to the earth. Sitting up nice and tall. Tucked chin, lifted heart, shoulders drawn down the back. And letting that right knee just be heavy. Let that right knee kind of draw you downward towards the earth, even as the crown of your head lifts you up towards the sky for this kind of lengthening throughout the whole body. And then bring your awareness to that right hip. Maybe inhale into your balloon here. And exhale to just release and soften and let it go. 2 more breaths wherever you are. And then we'll go ahead and inhale, bring the sole of the right foot back to the earth. And then we'll exhale, coming all the way back around to the front of the chair. Just recentering yourself here, reestablishing that nice tall seat. And then let's inhale the hands up, pointing up towards the sky, bringing the palms together and bringing the hands down to the heart. Keeping the hands here, let the elbows be heavy, drawing the shoulders away from the ears. Lift the heart towards the thumbs and press the thumbs in toward the heart. Tuck the chin, maybe close the eyes. I always love to have my eyes closed to help me really experience the physical sensations here. And then bring your awareness to the base of the spine. And we're going to do a couple of twists here, really imagining that DNA strand that kind of swirls upward. And so as we twist to the right, we're going to just twist from the very lowest vertebrae around, making that nice organic DNA-like twist here, only going as far as feels good to you, not pressing across the point of pain. And we're just going to stay here and inhale length. And then exhale to see where you can soften. Are your feet tense? Are you gripping? Maybe relax the jaw. Inhale length, exhale maybe to deepen a little bit more, maybe to just soften a little bit more. And if you do want to go deeper, you can take that gaze back beyond the right shoulder, getting a little more of a twist up in the cervical spine here. And then judging for yourself and where you are today, maybe release the palms and bring the left hand to the right knee, the right hand to the chair, and continue twisting, looking beyond that right shoulder, Lengthening in the inhale and softening or twisting any amount more on the exhale. One more full breath wherever you are. And then we'll inhale the arms up to the sky, bringing the arms alongside the ears, coming into our victorious pose, drawing the pinkies toward one another, expanding through the shoulders, lifting the heart. And then we'll exhale, hands to heart center. We'll establish that nice long spine and the inner connection to that swirling DNA strand, and we'll begin twisting over towards the left from the bottom vertebrae up to the next, and then the next, and then the next, and so on. Moving very gently, very slowly, one vertebra at a time, until you reach your edge, and then just stay there and breathe. Let the elbows be heavy, let the chin be tucked. Inhale, length. Exhale, softness. Deciding for yourself when and if you want to turn and look over that left shoulder. And either staying here or releasing to bring the right hand to the left knee or the left thigh and the left hand to the chair, wherever it comfortably lands. Stay wherever you are for 2 full breaths, lengthening and softening. And then we'll inhale the arms back up alongside the ears, coming into our victorious pose, lifting the heart. And then bring the palms together and exhale, hands to heart center. And we'll just find a few breaths of stillness here. Closing the eyes if that feels good to you. Taking the awareness to the soles of the feet. Tops of the feet, the ankles, the shins and the calves, softening as you move upward with your mind's eye up the body, relaxing the knees, relaxing the thighs, allowing the hips to be heavy and anchored to your chair, softening the belly, softening the shoulders, softening the touch of your palms on one another. Softening all the skin and the muscles of the face. Letting go of any tension in the jaw or the eyes or the forehead. One more inhale here. Inhaling love. Exhaling compassion. The light within me sees and honors the light within each of you. Namaste.